Hi guys, this is a video that I've been wanting to do for a long time. This is actually a video that I had planned over a year ago, and for whatever reason I just never got around to filming it. This is the video of how taking a rather bizarre psychedelic substance caused me to quit smoking. It actually stopped my addiction to cigarettes just like dead in its tracks. And this wasn't even the effect that I was after. I didn't take the drug intending to quit. Instead, what ended up happening is after I had this psychedelic experience, I no longer enjoyed cigarettes. I even actively tried to like cigarettes again. I kept smoking, trying to convince myself that cigarettes were good and that, no, you're crazy, you like cigarettes. But for whatever reason, even if I wanted to keep smoking, this experience just made that pretty impossible. Now, I wish that I could make this like a how-to video, like how to use psychedelics to quit addiction. But even I don't really understand the mechanisms at play here that caused it to happen. In fact, one of the founders of Alcoholics Anonymous, Bill Wilson, was only able to quit his own alcohol addiction with the help of LSD. So this is nothing new. Psychedelics have been helping people quit addiction for a long time. Even if you search the internet, you'll find countless stories of people talking about how, say, LSD or mushrooms help them quit cigarettes, alcohol, heroin, the list just goes on and on. The only thing that's made it so I never got a craving to a cigarette again has been this psychedelic experience. And it's not like I just smoked for a few years. I smoked for over 10 years. Cigarettes are just one of those things where they kind of integrate themselves into all aspects of your life. For example, even if you're going to, say, the movies, you're not thinking 100% about being in the theater with your buddies or with your partner. What you're thinking about is, when during the whole 2 hours can I get a chance to go outside and have my puff? What ends up happening is the cigarettes really do control your life. Every activity that you do kind of revolves around smoking, or in your mind, everything you're doing is kind of enhanced by smoking. So even doing something healthy like going for a hike, I used to plan my hikes around the locations I thought were cool to go to have a smoke at. Anyway, let's get into my story as to what happened. Now, I don't really want to go too deep into the actual trip itself because I've actually already made a video about this trip, which you guys can watch here. The video is on my other channel, PsychedSubstance. The substance that I was consuming that led up to me quitting this addiction, it was Hawaiian baby wood rose seeds. Now, these seeds are legal, making it very easy for people to obtain, but, and this is a big but, Hawaiian baby wood rose seeds are not necessarily a fun psychedelic to take. It's anything but recreational. Some of these side effects include extreme gastrointestinal distress, intense nausea, and just cramping and stomach pain. Like, some people have described it as some of the worst stomach pain they've ever experienced in their life. And that's not even what I would consider the most dangerous effect. The most threatening effect is bronchial constriction. Now, no one has ever died as a result of consuming these seeds, but in my experience, the reason why I had such an intense trip, which resulted in such a drastic life change, was because I did take a shit ton of seeds, and I did this by accident. I ended up taking 25 seeds. It was an extract of 25 seeds, but still, extracting the active alkaloids probably made it even more potent. To give you some perspective, 9 seeds is considered a heavy dose. So I went well beyond the heavy dose number, and the result was a trip unlike anything I've ever experienced since. Now, again, I don't want to get too much into the trip because there already is a video about it, but I will summarize it as this. Basically, what happened was it felt like an astral projection while I was awake. If that makes sense to you guys, I was pulled out of my body, and I can remember shooting through the cosmos, and while I was shooting through space, I felt this vibration as if my entire like physical body or whatever I was imagining as myself out there was getting like ripped apart, like my consciousness was getting torn apart. And it was terrifying at the time. It was very freaky. And I felt all the particles that made up my body just blast off in different areas. And I was completely scattered. What was weird about this, though, was no matter how scattered I got, I felt like this magnetic connection where the particles always knew how to come back together to form me. And this is the part of the trip that is really mind-blowing, at least for me. I experienced this with my girlfriend, and we were both laying together in bed. We both opened our eyes at the exact same time and looked at one another and said, "How do our atoms know how to get back together?" Meaning we were sharing the trip, or at least we were having the exact same experience at the same time. Now, I understand how ridiculous that sounds. Considering my name is Adam, we asked, how does Adam know how to get back together? Well, I'll let you guys know when I figure that out. Now, during this period, I was working a construction job, a commercial construction job. So the next evening, I had to go to work. And this is when the effects became noticeable to me. The effect being my personality felt altered. I was sitting in the car beside a coworker who used to pick me up and drive me to the job sites every day. And he was, he was talking to me, he was cracking his usual jokes. And normally I would kind of laugh at his jokes. I would, be nice, I guess. But during this encounter, I just was feeling so raw and different from the experience. I felt like I was pulled out of the matrix, and I didn't feel like putting on the facade. I didn't want to wear my like happy shell where I thought he was funny. So I was just kind of sitting there just like, kind of like a robot almost, with just blank stare on my face. He's cracking jokes. I'm just like, I probably looked rude as hell. I didn't mean it. I was just really lost in thought. I just couldn't get over the experience that I had had. And I remember he said to me, he's like, what's wrong with you, man? Like, you're different. You're really different. You seem really depressed. Now, it was during my time at work that it became apparent I didn't like cigarettes anymore. When you work these construction jobs, pretty much the highlight of your day or the highlight of your time at work is having your smoke breaks. Almost everybody smokes in these environments, and I went to have my cigarette. And I remember a peculiar thing happened. I was smoking it, and it tasted weird. It didn't taste like it normally tastes. Now, anyone who's an avid smoker and who, say, takes a break for a month and then smokes again will know that after a month of not smoking, cigarettes can sometimes taste nasty all over again. The only reason that cigarettes taste good is because we've desensitized ourselves to the nasty taste. So it was as if all of my sensitivity to smoking had just returned. I remember smoking it and thinking, Adam, you like this. This is the only thing you look forward to at this job, is having this cancer stick. Like, enjoy it. And I could not convince myself to like it. So I thought that was weird. And the problem persisted over the coming weeks. Every time I would go out for a cigarette, the same thing would happen. I'd go out there, try to enjoy it, and I'd struggle. And I would constantly try to convince myself. I was like rebelling against this. Like, no, you like smoking. Remember, this is what you like to do. You're going to smoke. Enjoy it. And the more I tried to get myself to enjoy it, the less I actually did enjoy it. And it got to the point where a light bulb went off in my head. I had the epiphany that, hey, if you're not enjoying smoking, maybe you can quit. Maybe you can stop. And I was like, yeah, why don't I try that? Why don't I just try not smoking? Because this is no longer fun. And sure enough, I quit just right there. And it was that easy. I just wiped my hands clean of all the dirty nicotine stains in my nails, and that was it. I was done with smoking pretty much forever after that, which is insane. And I never was even met with any cravings. That's the most insane part. No cravings at all. More like a sense of relief that I was done with it. It was one of the most bizarre experiences to happen to me, because I was seriously addicted to cigarettes. And I'm not exaggerating this. I didn't think that I was going to be able to quit. I had tried quitting. I shouldn't leave this part out. During this experience, I did have in my mind before the trip that it would be nice to quit. And I was thinking, like, I really should quit. I should consider quitting. So maybe because I had that thought in the back of my head, it somehow spurred the trip in the direction of just making me hate cigarettes. My body was physically addicted to nicotine. How did it just let go of that addiction so easily? Now, at a later time, more traditional psychedelics like LSD helped me quit alcohol. I used to heavily rely on alcohol for pleasure, to feel good. And after some more psychedelic use, that addiction is gone as well. I'm pretty much living proof that these substances, even though we don't really understand how they work, and it's debatable whether the experiences really are mystical or not, but regardless of all of that, they have a profound impact on our psyche. I'm living proof. It caused me to quit something that I previously struggled very deeply with getting rid of, or curing myself of. A nicotine addiction is no joke. Nicotine is a very addictive substance. And I fully understand how these substances can cause, say, a heroin addict to quit heroin. Because what happens is after the trip, you're just like, I don't even enjoy the stuff I used to enjoy anymore. You can feel like a totally different person. And it is fascinating. It's cool. Anyway, that's my story of how LSA, a very obscure psychedelic that not many people explore, helped me quit smoking. Now, I should also point out that 25 seeds is a massive dose, and I really, really cannot recommend anybody watching this does that. It could even be potentially dangerous. There's gotta be the chance that the bronchial constriction could get so intense for some people that it really did constrict your airways enough for you to stop breathing. Now, don't quote me on this. No one has ever died from LSA, but I would rather lean on the side of caution than put yourself at risk. There's other psychedelics that are far safer that can offer the exact same returns, such as psilocybin mushrooms, ayahuasca, even LSD, smoke DMT. All of these psychedelics are, well, can be much safer than what I believe these seeds to be, and you don't have to deal with that nasty pain. That was some serious pain, guys. So yeah, I'm not making this video to kind of glorify Hawaiian baby wood rose seeds and say, like, look, they helped me quit. Everybody try them. They're definitely not for everybody, and it's not a psychedelic that I think I will ever take again in my life. That was just a one-time experience, and it was well worth it for what it helped me get through. Anyway, if you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to leave me a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel for weekly psychedelic related content. A big shout out to everyone who is supporting me on Patreon. You guys are the reason that my channel keeps going, and I love each and every one of you. If you want to check out what Patreon is, you could follow the link right here. Till next time, take care, everybody. Always test every substance you intend to take. Test kit link in video description. And yeah, I want to hear what you guys think. Have any of you guys watching ever cured an addiction via psychedelics? And what I'd like to know is, did you plan to cure the addiction prior to your trip? Or did it happen sporadically like me? Was it just like getting hit by lightning? Just bam, addiction gone. That's probably more interesting to me. But anyway, till next time, take care, guys.